Welcome to Ag on Wheels. Today we find ourselves in Edinburgh, Texas with Giovanna Benitez. Giovanna happens to be one of the largest and youngest cattle ranchers here in the area. So Giovanna, are you excited to show me what you've got going on today?
Of course, I'm super excited and I hope you love everything that we do every day.
So we're gonna take a glance into her daily life. So let's go.
Let's go.
What made you want to choose to be involved in agriculture? And it's not easy being involved in agriculture, so what motivates you every day to continue?
Okay, so my father and my mom used to live in Roma, Texas, and my dad had an auto electric shop. Unfortunately, my mom and my brother passed away in an accident, and he decided to sell all of his business in Roma and continue my mother's dream, and that was to buy a ranch. Since my dad raised me, it was kind of a deal that after school there was no time for cheerleading or basketball or soccer or anything like that. I had to come back to the ranch because a tractor was waiting for me. So it was fun. I'll get out of school, come jump in a tractor with my dad, do some homework, and that's how we spent our time together. I was 6 years old and already driving a tractor.
Look at you. Probably drive better than I do.
So it was fun. And my greatest motivation, I feel that it is living my mother's dream. Just every day waking up and knowing that I'm doing something that it was her dream to do.
And now it's your dream.
Now it's my dream and I love it.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about this fence. It plays into your irrigation system, right?
Yes, that is correct. So in order to have proper rotation yet irrigate the pastures, my dad invented this fence that you're able to have a 5-string barbed wire. The irrigation system will pass by whenever it's down, but then you pick it up in order for you to place the cattle and do proper rotation. So it is very hard to have cattle when the pasture is so big. So you could have a 125-acre pasture, but since we don't have a lot of acres, we needed to make sure that we were very efficient and we could put as much head of cattle as possible on a per acre basis. With this fence, my dad was able to do both things, have a lot of cattle in the pastures and be able to irrigate.
Gio, so we know that you have cattle in the pasture, but now we're standing here in the pens. Why do you have these cattle in the pens?
Okay, the reason why is that we source cattle from all over Rio Grande Valley, and whenever they get to the ranch, we need to make sure that we process them properly with their vaccines, dewormer, fly control, and if they have a little bit of issues, then we need to put some antibiotics on them.
And so you said the key word, and I think that we need to clear this too, is vaccines.
Correct.
Okay, so what kind of vaccines are we putting into the cattle?
We place 2 types of vaccines. It's called Shield and Esselgen whenever they arrive to the ranch. And once they're here, we place them in their pens, and it's very important for us not to commingle the cattle that was already at the ranch with the new cattle, because the new cattle could infect the cattle that was at the ranch. So then it's gonna be a lot of health issues and a lot of health concerns. It's also very important for us to have our water troughs clean and make sure that the sick cattle don't drink from the same water trough from the healthy cattle, because then you're gonna have a lot of issues there. Once they get here, they'll come to the pens and we'll be monitoring them. We'll keep the cattle there, and once they're good to go, they're healthy, then we'll sort everything out wherever they belong, the heifers with the heifers, steers with the steers, and it'll be also based on the weights.
So it's kind of almost like taking care of a newborn baby and training them, right? You're training them how to eat, you're making sure that they're healthy before they can provide for you and for the world.
That is correct. And before we let them loose at the pastures, we need to make sure, like I said, that they're healthy. And another thing of having them here with the small pens is that we have the squeeze chute. So we just sort them out here, take them to the squeeze chute, and that's going to be a whole lot of stress less compared to if you have to doctor them in the pasture and rope them and drag them and everything.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'll pass on that one. So we know that you're a hard worker. You told me earlier that you bale the hay, you're the driver. I mean, you were all hands on deck. But you also told me that you went to college. Tell me what you studied.
I did. So I have a double major in UTRGV in finance and economics. Then after that, I decided to go to TCU and get a ranch management master's certificate. And I'm currently doing another master's degree in international agriculture from Oklahoma State University. I felt that I had a little bit of extra time, you know, with COVID, so I could do everything online. So.
Better you than me, because after I got my bachelor's, I was done. Foot was out that door way before. So you have all hands on deck on the ranch, you have an expansive education, but you're also involved in organizations such as the STPRA, which is?
That is correct. I'm involved with South Texas Property Rights Association. It is a great association that talks about everything that's going on, not only here in the border, but also water issues, border patrol, border security, fever tick, animal health in general. It just covers everything. It's a great part of it. It's a great association, and it's a great network to be a part of. They're always there for you.
And absolutely, and I think that that is extremely crucial, especially being one, a woman in agriculture, and two, I think living where we do, it's really important for us to be kept up to date on all those important topics that we have.
That is correct. South Texas Property Rights is always going to send you daily emails, making sure that everybody's up to date with everything that's going on along the borders.
You'll read for me, right, when I get them, because I don't like to read?
Of course.
So Gio, you know as well as I do, living here in the Rio Grande Valley, we endured a freeze this year, a freeze that we haven't seen since the 1980s. And all of our citrus was pretty much destroyed. But I see here that you're using it. Explain to me a little bit about that process.
That is correct. We use a lot of citrus in our ration, so we have a wet ration. And the citrus gets here because it's not good for H-E-B or Walmart because it's not the proper size, or it's too big, or by the time it's out on the shelves, it's only going to be good for 1 or 2 days. That it's not good for the grocery stores to put it out and then in a couple of days having to remove it. So we are able to get that citrus to the ranch and we place it in our ration. We store it, and this used to be in a silage pit, and we have the citrus here, and with the excavator we are making sure that we remove all the top, which is kind of go dark colors or black, and we only get the good part of the citrus and we put it in our ration. Since it's local, it's one of the things that we use, and guess what? The cattle love it.
And when you say nutritionist and you say rations, so you don't feed them just citrus, you also feed them, you said cottonseed, their hay. Is there anything else that you put into those rations?
Yes, we do corn, DDG, and of course the mineral, which is the most important one. Having everything out of balance and having a good nutritionist is the key to making sure that the cattle is going to be healthy and with proper nutrition and not have any issues with the feed yard.
So it's kind of like when you were a kid and you took your little Flintstone multivitamin. Same kind of concept, but for the cattle, right?
That is correct.
Just way more intensified. Gio, thank you so much for allowing us to come out to your ranch and to see exactly what you do. I wish I had more time because you were so hands-on that I don't think there's enough hours in the day to really show what you do. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a true honor to have you at the ranch, and this is your house. You're more than welcome to stop by anytime.
Be careful what you say. Y'all have a great day, and where will Ag on Wheels be next? Only God knows. God bless.